Good afternoon and a very warm welcome to the Royal Palace here in Stockholm. It's the men and the women's sprint races, the final sprint races for this season. And well, warm weather as we're coming to the end of the season. There's a huge amount of effort gone in here to bring the machine-made snow into Stockholm and place it around the Royal Castle here. And definitely going to be some exciting racing action here. The best of the men and women. Top 50 are allowed to take part here, plus the junior or the under-23 World Championships in both the men and the women. And it's the first of the multi-stage final for this season. Sprint races today, a day off tomorrow, and then we head up to Falun, where on Friday it'll be a little prologue up the King of the Hill. 2.5 kilometers for women, 3.3 for the men. And on Saturday we've got the pursuit race, which is 5 kilometers classic for the women, followed by 5 kilometers in the freestyle, 10 classic, 10 freestyle for the men, and heading into Sunday and the final day of the season. With all these days in competition, tally points, 50 points each day you win, 200 further points for the overall winner. And I'm not quite sure it's going to influence too much the standings at the moment, with Daria Kolonia with a large lead in the men's field, and Justina Kowalczuk leading clearly in the women's field. Well, there we have it. Very warm in Stockholm here, +2 degrees. The air temperature hovering around 0 in terms of snow. Have a look at this course. It's a drop down initially before the, well, 11 meter in total height climb. Very undulating as we come down the long straights around the castle, and significantly another 12-meter climb over just 200 meters of track, heading towards the finish line up at Slottsbacken. And here we have the qualifying. Petra Madic, well, winning by quite a margin to gain bib number 1. And further down we can see the rest of the competitors. Top 50 in the world rankings, plus the under-23 world champion, and 5 top 0.2, half a second behind for Falla, the Norwegian, fairly comfortably through as well. So we go straight on with the next heat. 5 heats I mentioned earlier. 2 through by right, and then 2 lucky losers through to the semi-final. 27, Magda Genwin, just looking down this 100-meter straight line, or start, and just looking extremely relaxed. Perry-Ann Jones, good to see the Canadians in numbers here today. Alongside her is Aino-Kaisa Saarinen. So strong. She did have that injury early season, her left shoulder, which kept her back in the early season, but she's back on form now. Katarina Schmutner, number 4, the only Austrian to get through. Top 30 earlier, there were 55 taking part. Anna Haag getting the local cheer without a doubt. Support all around the track for Anna Haag. And Kerttu Niskanen from Finland, looking pretty confident as she comes into the start gate. They'll be called forward soon to the start position. It's so important to break free when the gun goes for a good start. Off they go, and they are conditioned to hold for that gun, but a lot of nervous movement there just prior to the gun releasing them through the start wand. So it's a good double polling power there from Aino-Kaisa Saarinen, but just Niskanen, her teammate, just gone ahead there. Slight advantage being near side to the camera, but then you have to cross over to the right side with the downhill segment off the track before the long, fairly flat straight up towards the mad dash for Slottsbacken, the finish line. So Anna Haag needs to just be a little careful there for Sweden, the only Swede in this heat. And she's over on the right side as we look. The 2 Finns, first and third now. Magda Genwin from Italy, vastly experienced. That's a tight turn round there. You can see how, I think it was Anna Haag almost blown wide. So, Anna-Kaisa Saarinen double poling. It's all about arm power. It is the fastest way to travel in the classic technique over flat terrain and gently down terrain. Magda Genuine alongside on the right as we look. You can see the snow splashing up there. It just shows how warm the snow is. Mostly machine-made snow, stored outside the city, brought in over the last couple of days and spread to a depth of 1.5 meter when they put it down. It looks like the warm weather has collapsed it a little. So Saarinen, there's a bit of a charge on behind her. They're trying to close this down. Schmutner at the back there for Austria. She needs to try and move forward now if she wants to stand a chance of qualifying in the top two. Down towards the final bend, the all-important right-hander before this climb. It's over 200 meters, 11 meter in height gain. So the mad dash up to the line. Magda Genuine just in second place. Anna-Kaisa Saarinen hasn't looked threatened throughout this heat, but she needs to keep the pressure on. Anna Haag coming through fast. Far side is Perrianne Jones from Canada. She needs to keep it strong. Saarinen slipping a little there. She comes to the top. Perrianne Jones is coming through by surprise almost on the far side to qualify without a doubt. That was a very, very good strategy from Jones. Clearly she's had a look at that in training. Slightly slower this time than the first heat, so maybe Vesna Fabian could go through from the first heat as a lucky loser. We'll find out later. Well, a chance to have another look at how it started for Saarinen, who basically led just after the first left-hander, and then heading back along the flat section of this course, round the castle, the Royal Castle, and then up the final straight. So Saarinen kept the pressure on all the way to the line. 2:33.6 for Anna-Kaisa